Quote, project-based learning empowers educators to design their own curriculum and even co-generate projects with students in place of implementing pre-existing or corporate-produced curriculum. Educators might also consider the types of pedagogy that are most resonant with project-based learning by embracing student-centeredness and facilitating learning, collaborative interaction, and inquiry to help learners develop disciplinary expertise. This may feel different from instruction strategies that are more teacher-centered and emphasize direct instruction, task completion, and content acquisition, end quote. Now, this is something that we talk about in episode 150, which is fostering intersectional identities through rhizomatic learning. If you are going to take this rhizomatic learning approach, it allows you to design hyper-local and individually relevant projects with and for students, as opposed to taking this curriculum out of the box and saying, here, students in my class, I'm sure this is relevant to you and the people in that rural community several hundred miles away and in the urban community on the other side of the world, etc., etc. As somebody who has designed curricular resources used by hundreds of thousands of students literally around the world, I know how difficult of a task it is to scale at that level, which is why I constantly encourage teachers, hey, if you're going to use these projects, you need to modify them to make it more relevant to the students you're working with. While I have created a project that I think is interesting to students and that students have said that it's interesting to them, it might not be relevant to each individual or community or group of people within the classes that you work with. So if you're going to start with some kind of like a boxed curriculum that is project-based, make sure you modify it to make it more relevant and individualized for the students that you work with. This excerpt of the CSK8 podcast is from episode number 194, which is titled Bringing Curriculum to Life, Enacting Project-Based Learning in Computer Science Programs. You can listen to the full episode as well as hundreds more by searching for the CSK8 podcast or by simply going to jaredoleary.com.